Don't be goofy.
That's how it look.
No. You're making the camera shake. Jimmy, I can't breathe. Okay. Hey y'all, for dinner tonight, Jimmy is making homemade chicken and dumplings. And so our daughter is really excited about it. She's been asking for it for a few days now. And so come into our kitchen and we'll show you how it's done. To prepare the chicken, we are using a sous vide. So we're going to show you how this works. The chicken we're using is just boneless, skinless chicken breast. And the chicken is going to be vacuum sealed into these pouches that Jimmy is going to make. And then we're going to drop it into the pot of water and let them cook. Ain't that right, honey? All right, so Jimmy's going to salt and pepper the chicken. You're going to do both sides?
Yep.
Yep. You're doing a great job.
We'll see how it tastes.
Well, if it doesn't taste good, I'm not going to post the video. So if the video gets posted, it's going to be amazing. Yes. Have faith, honey.
I made chicken dumplings like this, so it's more of an experiment.
What do you mean you haven't made it like that? You've made chicken and dumplings before.
Not a sous vide.
How many pieces are you going to put in your pouch there?
And this 2 for something else for the recipe. I'm going to do 3 for the chicken and dumplings.
Cool. Now we're going to seal it up. I have trouble with this sealer. Sometimes I can't get it to work right.
Oops, all right.
Did you have it down too low?
There you go.
Oh.
Keep sucking air.
Even your sound effects. You've used this too much.
No, it's just double seal it.
Double seal it so the juices don't come out.
Reminds me of the whales and Finding Nemo. Just got a cold.
He thinks he's funny.
Not funny.
Yes, you are. You're actually pretty funny.
So I'm not trimming the fat off any of these because I want the fat.
Oh,
See if
hold
it
on.
can-
Let me get the camera off and still.
I didn't trim any of the fat off because I want the fat to try to render down. And then I'll put it in with the chicken stock and everything.
Sounds good. In she goes.
The temperature.
All right, so the water is coming up to temperature. Right now it's 102 degrees and we're gonna get it to 150 degrees. And you know, they say cook chicken to what, 160, 165?
Mm-hmm.
But Jimmy learned that if
You live on the edge.
you live on the edge like us,
Live on the edge of salmonella.
live on the edge of salmonella. That's gross. All right, anyways, if you cook your chicken at 150 degrees for at least, what, 2 hours? 2 to 4?
Kills the bacteria.
It'll kill the bacteria in the chicken and you will be left with the most juicy, moist chicken you've ever put into your mouth. So
Not overcooked.
it's not overcooked or undercooked. All right, babes, what are we doing?
Start making the chicken stock broth for the
Chicken and dumplings.
dumplings. Yeah.
You're using chicken broth, and how much is that?
48 ounces. Probably should have brought 2, but I'll wing it.
We'll make it work.
It's just one big experiment anyway.
But your food always comes out tasting good. Except for the sloppy joes you made that long time ago.
They're delicious.
No. And then that nasty strawberry and pork dish.
You make that.
But you told me to make it and it was gross.
It was in good housekeeping, so somebody was right.
Well, who eats strawberries with pork? Oh gosh, it was so gross.
So I'm adding cream of chicken soup.
You adding 2 cans
Yep.
cream of chicken? I wish all cans had those easy pop tops. Make life a little bit easier. Yeah. Why not?
I don't think that's just something you'd say. Man, my life's just so much easier thanks to these Pop Top Campbell soup cans.
You don't have to walk over to the drawer, open the drawer, take out the can opener, finagle the can opener on top of the can,
Yeah, but imagine somebody
twist it.
Imagine somebody's going through a rough time and you're like, you know what? Those Campbell soup cans got that pop top, so it's going to be all right.
Hey, if they have a lot going on, it would make it just a little, their life just a little bit easier.
There's a convenience there, but I don't know if it makes life easier.
Isn't that what conveniences do? They make your life easier?
I don't know if that would make life easier. If you're stranded somewhere, I guess it would.
Yeah, that's true. Or if you didn't have a can opener. Exactly. So now you're gonna mix it.
Turn the stove on.
What are you turning it on?
Medium high. Take these cans and fill them up with water. Try to get the rest of that, whatever is left in there, off.
Now see, if you were using a can opener, you would not be at this point right now. You would probably still be getting soup out of the cans. Sorry.
Man, my life's so much easier now.
Isn't it?
Yeah.
Thank you, Campbell soup.
They probably didn't invent it.
No. Oh.
So I'm gonna add some water to the stock that I've made, because once you add the dumplings, it's gonna absorb a lot of the water, and some of the water, since it's for the chicken stock, soup, whatever broth, it's gonna evaporate.
Cool.
And once it gets hot, all that'll meld together.
How much are you gonna add?
I don't know. Probably about 4 cups worth.
I mean, you really can't add too much, can you? Because I mean, you want it to be like a soup.
For your dumplings.
Oh well, yeah. I mean, yeah, I guess you could add.
Then life wouldn't be easier.
You'd have a mess.
You have to do batches. Leave yourself enough room to put some dumplings in. And if it's going to be boiling a little while, it's going to evaporate.
Okay.
But you can always add water to it.
Okay.
Because we added about 4 cups of water, and I didn't buy more chicken stock or chicken broth, I'm going to make my own one of these little bouillon cubes. Fake it till you make it.
I was gonna say, do you mean turn the water off?
You could. That would have made my life a whole lot easier.
It would have.
But thank God we got those cans.
Because you would just not be filling the pot up with water.
Changed the whole process.
It did.
Not that we put chicken in a cube and add it to water, but
Well, you know, if you would have bought another container of the chicken broth, you would not be having to do this right now. Would you have still done that had you had 2 things of chicken broth?
No, what I typically do is get a bone-in chicken breast, a couple of those, and boil it in water and create my own chicken broth. But since I'm experimenting with the sous vide to do the chicken,
Yeah.
I forwent that.
And the sous vide makes life a lot easier, doesn't it?
It does. It's
It
like
does.
the slow cooker for meat and whatever else you want to put in.
It is.
But you can't overcook it.
Nope. Yum. How long has it been cooking?
2 days.
Jimmy, it has not been cooking for 2 days.
It's been cooking for since, say, it came to temperature at 2 o'clock, 2, 3, 4, almost 5 hours.
Cool. I don't know where I'm going. Sorry. Oop. Here, go on the other side.
Maybe you should get a can of soup and open the can. Make your life a lot easier. So I'm just doing a solid little pinch of some salty salt.
Because the chicken broth is already salty, and so is the bouillon and the soup as well. Sorry.
Nice little hefty pinch of the black pepper.
Pepper is my favorite seasoning. It smells so good too. Light it up. All right, what else are we doing?
Add a little love to it, MSG. Give it that umami flavor.
Ooh, mommy. That smells good already.
So we'll just kind of bring this up to a simmer. I'll add the bouillon cube in then, and then we'll go from there.
Cool beans.
All right. We're gonna go ahead and just add the bouillon cube and kind of get it stirred in there. And it should dissolve. And then we'll start on the dumplings here in a minute.
Sounds good.
All right, so we're going to start on the dumplings made from scratch. I'm going to go with 2 cups of flour. This is all-purpose.
That's self-rising.
Self-rising.
Does it matter?
I don't think so. Not for me. White lily. So there it is, 2 cups. To that, I hope I've got 1/8 of a cup of some Crisco. This is butter flavored, that's all we got.
No, we have some more Crisco in the cabinet.
All right.
But that
This
should
is
be
what we're
1/8 of a
doing.
cup. That's going to be good. Butter flavor. And again, if it doesn't turn out good, I still may post it, but I'll say something about it not turning out good.
So in goes our 8-ish cup of
Buttered Crisco.
goodness.
That's going to give it a really good flavor.
We'll find out. So we use our trusty little blending fork to mix it in here.
I've become a pro at using that blending fork.
It's great.
Let me do it.
Probably one of the better inventions. I'd say it's better than the can lid.
No.
A lot easier. One biscuit at a time. You can take some 2% milk.
How much?
So this is 1/3 cup, and I'm gonna add 2 of them. So 2/3. Ooh no. Dose.
take this little spoon and kind of start mixing it in a little bit. Form the dough.
You could use the blending fork too, couldn't you?
You could. This is just easier to clean it off the flat surface versus all the prongs. So and we've got our table clean because then once it turns into a little bit of a dough, I'm gonna fold it out onto the table and cut our dumplings.
That was really smart what you said. It's easier to clean it off the spoon than it is the fork.
All about efficiency.
All right, Lou Holtz.
I'm start getting my hands a little dirty.
Need some more milk.
We'll find out. You can see that Crisco gonna cut up into the dough there.
Do you want like a moist dough or kind of on the drier side?
You want a little bit moist, so I'm gonna add a little bit more milk to that.
This is kind of what makes me nervous about like making dough because I don't know what the consistency is supposed to like feel like. I guess if it sticks too bad to your hands, then it's too wet and
You need more flour.
I need more flour. I don't know. I've become a pretty mean biscuit maker.
You are pretty mean.
Why don't you like my biscuits?
You love my biscuits, don't you?
Yeah, dude. Tastes pretty
Thanks.
good.
All right, Millie. Pretty good.
They
They
are
taste
good.
amazing.
Pretty good.
Yes, they are.
All right, so I've got it. What I think I need. So I'm gonna take all my junk and make some room. I got just a sifter. That'll fall to the table. I'm gonna take that dough ball and put it on there after I collect some rest of the pieces there.
You're probably going to say no to this, but
Nope.
see, I told you. But like when you get ready to cut them out, you could use like the small little biscuit cutter and like make little rounds. I know that's a no,
Yep, that's a no.
but that's a good idea though.
I'm gonna try to fold this probably about 5 to 7 times and to see kind of how the dough is doing. See if we gotta add anything.
Are you looking to see if it's going to break or what?
Yeah, you look to see if it's gonna break or if it's gonna hold up. If it's gonna break, generally it'll start to break apart in the chicken stock, and you don't want that. You want it to kind of hold together. Knead it together. So it's kind of breaking apart. I want to add a little bit more water to that. Water, milk.
Milk. Oh, you don't want to put it back in the bowl?
Nope.
Okay.
So now I got it a little bit too wet. So I'm gonna try to roll it out and see what she looks like.
How thin do you roll it?
I just eyeball it. I don't know.
Quarter of an
Quarter of an
inch?
inch or something like that.
Fourth of an inch?
You want it fairly flat.
Because
It's gonna puff up when it cooks, and roll it out nice and thin.
you put enough flour underneath it.
Me too.
That would stink. Not being able to get it off the table.
Alright, we got a plate. I'm gonna transfer these to the plate. I'm gonna put a little bit of flour down, and then I'm gonna flour these once more once I cut them. I got a pizza cutter, and I'm not gonna cut my table. So I'm just gonna just gently kind of press through just enough to get through the dough and create some strips for these dumplings.
And this dough is super thin. It's almost like paper thin.
It's gonna puff up a little bit when it cooks. I'm gonna put a little bit more flour on it, and that's gonna help thicken up your stock.
I couldn't think of the word.
Let's see. I'm just gonna go right through here. Right through here. A little dusting of flour on top of those. I'm going to transfer them to my plate. And then we'll move over to the stove.
Sounds good.
So we got our platter of dumplings. Dusty dust.
Got a little baby one there left. Don't forget that one. Okay.
Right over to the stove. Give this a little bit of a stir. I'm going to bring this back up to a boil.
So you had it come to a boil and then you put it on simmer?
Yeah, I put it on simmer and then it stops simmering.
Okay.
So I just turned it a little too low, but it's nice and hot, so it's ready to go. I don't add the chicken until after the dumplings are done. I'd almost prefer the chicken served separately. That way you can just get however much chicken you want. Some people just like the dumplings, so
Yeah.
it might be what we end up doing.
Right. And then by not adding it, it's not going to overcook the chicken.
Right.
So you wanted your stock there, broth there, to be at a simmer?
Yeah, I would like to be at a simmer, but I turned it down a little bit low because I don't want to boil all the moisture out. You can see
Okay.
it's already boiled down some.
Yeah. So what are we waiting on now?
It's gonna boil.
Boil.
And I'm gonna add a touch more water to it, to be honest with you.
Okay.
Wait some hot water.
Hot water.
Portion of water.
I'll turn the water off this time. That was about what?
About 3 or 4 cups again, just to bring it back up.
So we're going to bring it back to a boil.
Yeah, and you add hot water, not cold water. Because there's a myth, I guess, if you add cold water, it makes it boil faster, which doesn't even sound smart.
I heard that myth. And I used to agree with that myth.
How'd it work?
I guess it didn't.
I bet it didn't. Alright, so we got a boil going now. I'm going to turn it down just a little bit so it's not so vigorous.
You don't want a vigor boil.
Yeah, because you don't want
Vigorous
to tear you want it to boil, but you don't want to tear the dumplings up. So I'm going to start to add these.
I'm going to get on the other side of you.
You're just going to
Dropping them in one at a time or a
drop
couple?
them in. You probably a couple at a time.
But separate them as you drop them
You
in?
want to separate them a little bit so they don't stick together in an effort to make them not stick together. And that flour that we put on them is going to help thicken that stock up, broth up, whatever. You'll see it Starting to plump. Plump when you cook them. So plumpy.
Yeah, Jimmy is good at doing voices.
No.
Yes, you can sound like Goofy, Donald Duck, Kermit the Frog. I learned that today. And Lou Holtz. I learned that today. Who else are you good at doing?
Nobody. Kind of talking to you.
Me?
Hey, how you doing?
I don't sound.
What's going on?
I don't sound like a
Take a
man.
picture of me.
When I'm sick, I sound manly.
Take a video of me. I lost a subscriber.
You're terrible.
Why does nobody watch me?
That's your channel.
Sure, I'm gonna try to stream some football, but nobody's joining my channel. Gotta have 50 people. So I have to bribe some people.
Jimmy. Wow, these plumped up pretty quick, didn't they?
Yep. So I'm gonna try to throw the rest of these in here. One of these you gotta stir them around just a little bit. I'm gonna throw the lid on. If you stir too much, they start to fall apart.
And disintegrate
They disintegrate.
and become a part of the broth.
Yep.
You'll have really thick soup.
And you'll be like, man, I swore I made a lot more than this. And you did. They just disintegrated.
So you just kind of push them under a little bit.
Yeah, just mix them around a little bit. You don't want to stir vigorously because you'll help in that process. And I'm going to turn it down a little bit. I want to stop the boiling. It's in the hot liquid now, so it's going to cook. And then I'm going to put this oversized lid on it because we don't have the other one.
We do. It's in the dishwasher.
Dishwashers.
And it's clean.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh man, I should have paid that maid more to empty the dishwasher.
All right, how long are you gonna let this cook?
I'm gonna let it cook for 2-3 minutes. And I'll stir it every so often. Try it about 15 minutes total for it
15
to
minutes
cook.
total. Awesome.
We'll see.
All right, Millie, how's it looking?
Are they done yet?
Not yet.
couple
Almost.
minutes.
Looks good. They're done it. It's just the dumplings and the broth soup.
Where's the chicken?
Chicken is in the sous
Okay,
vide.
chicken. So the dumplings is cooking. We got a little bit longer to go on these dumplings.
How much longer?
These are looking some pretty fine looking dumplings, you guys.
How much longer?
As long as it takes.
Which would be...
As long as it takes.
Tell me.
About 10 minutes.
All right, so I'm taking our bag of chicken out.
Looks good.
I'm just gonna put it in the plate, and so all these juices and stuff is the extra chicken stock. So I'm not gonna throw that away. I'm gonna add that to the stove that you hear boiling over in the background.
Because of our oversized lid.
That's right. That's just the condensation dripping on a hot eye. So I'm gonna let that kind of cool off a little bit, and then we'll shred that. Open the chicken. See that good broth.
Yum. Now, some people might say that broth still has a color to it.
Oh, it does. It's got salmonella all in it.
But again, if you cook it for at least
Yeah, all the bacteria has been
2
killed.
hours, bacteria has been killed.
Yeah.
And he's right. I mean, we had sous vide chicken like this, what, yesterday, day before, and we're still alive. So, and you've cooked it this way in the past.
I'm just going to turn it off. It's going to stay nice and hot and continue to cook. And we'll wait for this chicken to cool off for another 5 minutes, and I'll start to shred it. Got the chicken out, so I'm just going to start to kind of cut this up. Shred it a little bit. So our dumplings have kind of settled down. So I'm just adding some stock to the chicken after you cut it up. You're not going to add it to the pot itself, which you typically would, but our daughter doesn't care for all the chicken in the soup, so I add it. We'll let you add it separately. So I'm just putting that in there to keep the moisture. And I'll cut up some more chicken and add it to this.
All right, I'm gonna go ahead and scoop out some broth and some of the dumplings. Looks like we lost a few dumplings, but a lot of it looks like they just sunk to the bottom too. Yeah. If you stir too much, like we said, they'll disintegrate, but then sometimes they'll just disintegrate just because. So you can always make more and add it to it if you need to. There's still a good bit in there. It looks good. It smells really good. I don't think we lost as many as we were both thinking. They're just all hiding on the bottom, so that's good. They're all floating down in there. All right, well, we gotta add the chicken to it. You wanna add the chicken? Or, yeah. And then we'll taste test. It doesn't matter. They should all be about the same. I'm kind of like Millie. Like, I don't like a ton of chicken, but since it was cooked in the sous vide, it might be better. But I'm more of a dumpling girl. Aren't you? Not a dumpling girl, but...
Yeah, I am a dumpling girl.
I mean, you like... When we go to Cracker Barrel, you want... Do you get dumplings with a side of dumplings, or do you get chicken and dumplings with a side of dumplings?
I get chicken and dumplings with side dumplings.
Okay. All right, here we go. I'm nervous.
You should be.
Because I want it to be good. All right, dumpling first. Mmm. That's good. That's got the texture of Cracker Barrels. And I like Cracker Barrel dumplings. Mmm. Sorry for all the noises.
ASMR move.
Hold on, let me finish chewing it.
Sorry about the bovine on the video here.
I was like, what bovine? Is there a cow behind me? Mm-hmm. The broth is very good. It's got a good chicken flavor.
Winner, winner, chicken and dumpling dinner.
Oh. And the chicken's good too. It's not overdone, which I like. Good job, babe.
Hope it tastes right.
It does. Bon appetit. All right, Millie. So what would you rate the chicken and dumplings on a scale of 1 to 10? 1 meaning you would throw it out in the street and let trucks and cars run over it. 10 means you would pay for that in a restaurant.
Maybe an 8.
Nice. Good job, Dad.
I don't think it's as good as his last one. Maybe, but
I think it'd be obviously better, but this is an experiment to do the bone-in chicken and cook the broth from scratch instead of kind of throwing it together.
Yeah.
But it works.
I think it's really good. But yeah, you're
Very
right.
good, but
Yeah, bone-in chicken does have a better flavor. But this is still good. So, Dad, scale of 1 to 10.
I'm more critical of myself, so probably about 5 to 6.
I don't know.
It's edible.
That is
It's certainly
critical.
edible,
What do you
but
think,
I'm really
Mom?
critical.
I would agree with you, Millie. I'd say about an 8. Because my favorite chicken and dumplings are Cracker Barrels. And
yes.
y'all, well, I was gonna say, y'all remember? Millie doesn't though. Po Folks, they used to have really good chicken and dumplings too. But I haven't had Po Folks since, oh my gosh, I think 8th grade. That was back in 1998 is when I last had their chicken and dumplings. So I don't even remember theirs.
My
but-
last batch was better than chicken, or
And Pofo, or
Cracker Barrel.
Cracker Barrel.
Well, thank you, Dad, for making this.
Oh, hope you like it.
Yep, I do. And Millie must like it too, because she's back there getting seconds. Or what are you doing?
Dumping out most of the broth. I'm
wants
getting
the
more,
dumplings.
but I'm just dumping out most of the broth.
Oh,
She's
okay.
a dumpling girl.
She's a dumpling girl. Just like her daddy.
Mm-hmm.
You also said I should be a food critic.
You should.
I don't like most food.
That's right.
Yeah, you're very picky, so you should be a food critic. All right, we're gonna enjoy our dinner.